But my favorite project was definitely the IDRIP. And our IDRIP it stands for Interdisciplinary Research Project, but I promise it's really not that scary. It was a lot of fun doing it, and you get to pick a topic that you want to research. Like, no teachers are telling you what you should do your work on. You pick a topic that interests you, and you go through this process of, it takes about the whole school year to complete. And the teachers are so great about it. Like, Miss Lundell was so helpful to us, and she really makes it sound so like organized, so you never feel overwhelmed with all the work. But there's other projects that go along with IDRIP, like we did our professional profiles, which is a media project. And what we did was we had to contact somebody from the field that we were researching in, and we invited them into the studio, and we actually did an interview. And this was also really good practice for our New York trip, because we're going to be arranging interviews in Manhattan.
How's going to New York change you?
I don't think it's necessarily changed me personality-wise, but I think it's definitely heightened my awareness about, I mean, although it's a beautiful city, like, it's just so urbanized, and I think that it's great to have such a center of like cultural diversity and stuff, and just all the things that are in New York. It's amazing. But then you look at it, and like, I wouldn't want the entire world to be like this, so I think it has made me be a little bit more aware about how much pollution, and about how we need to be more environmentally aware of what we're doing to the environment, to make sure that like that the air here doesn't become like the air everywhere else in the world.
What has been your favorite part in New York, and why?
My favorite part? I really don't know. I think
staying up late.
Okay, yeah. I think my favorite part of New York so far, my favorite educational experience was probably the Museum of Moving Image, because I found that so interesting, and looking at the cameras that they had so long ago, from the beginning of when they first started being able to shoot moving film, and how it's developed so much. It's just crazy, and I find that so interesting. But I think what the other thing that was really fun is the girls in our New York group, I mean, all in a room and staying up late. That's been a pretty great experience too, because we've gotten to know each other so much better. So I'd have to say that was pretty cool.
How is New York different from Washington, D.C.?
New York, I don't know. I guess I'm a lot more used to D.C., but D.C. it seems a lot smaller when you come here. Like, I mean, there's buildings, tall buildings and stuff, but it's in no way compares to the size and just the expanse of the busyness of New York. Like, New York, it just seems so much more lively, and it's always so awake and packed and exciting, and I mean, it differs in that way, I guess, because New York is so much bigger, obviously, but I think building-wise, it's also, the buildings are, it's a lot more like, there's a lot more like concrete and stuff than in DC. In DC, there's actually, I mean, there is like grass and stuff, and there's like areas, and in New York, it all seems kind of dead. Like, just the area just seems like all the, what?
You're in a park. How can you say that when you're in a park?
Look around. It's like dead. Like, look at the grass.
It's like the only grass in like the whole city.
Cody, it's like cold. You expect
no, but
flowers?
still, I mean, my backyard is grass, and it's the winter there too.
Do you not see grass?
I'm telling you my opinion, and this is my
Well, this is like the only place with grass, so whatever.
Yeah, exactly. There's no more grass.
All right, we're not gonna fight on Cameron. Okay, next question.
Don't want to tell people we're really lucky.
Yeah.
What did you feel in the Empire State Building?
Looking out from the Empire State Building, that's got to be one of the most magnificent views like ever. I mean, just visually, like seeing a picture of it, you get to capture like the beauty of looking out over the lights, and I mean, New York, it doesn't sleep. It's still all like bright and lit up and exciting looking, and so I mean that was it was a beautiful view, but emotionally, I don't think a photograph could have captured the feeling that you get when you're looking out over there. Like, it's just so, awe-inspiring. I don't know the word. I don't think it can be described by words. It's something you really have to be there for.
Is there anything else like that?
No.
I watch Mythbusters.
Okay, yeah, we don't have to record that one. I want to have your kid.
What?
So,
What'd you say?
how's life?
What'd you say about Anna?
Remember last night?
Yeah, all about it.
Does anybody know? Did you guys look up the play tonight? Does
It's,
anybody know anything
3.
about
No,
tonight's
it's supposed to be good. Apparently the Pirate Queen didn't get too good of reviews though.
I wonder why.
I understand why.
I see why, but it has very
flat?
Did you have cancer?
In the song.
So, could you like describe how like cancer in your family affected you?
My aunt had cancer. I guess it was about 10 years ago now. And she had a son who was 7. No, a daughter who was 7, a son who was 5, and another daughter who was 3. And she passed away after going into a coma. So, I mean, obviously that has huge impacts on the family because she was my mom's sister. And so not only did my mom and her other 2 sisters and brother have to go through so much, obviously with the loss of a sibling, but my grandparents also had to bury their daughter, which is, I don't think, something that any parent should ever have to do because it can just emotionally impact you so much. And I know I was 2, I think, so I don't remember it that well. I mean, there are flashes, memories that I have. I remember a funeral a little, well, not a funeral. I don't know if there was a funeral or not. I remember something a little bit, but I don't think I understood it that well. And her youngest daughter, who's my cousin, who's now 14, she doesn't really remember her mom at all. And I mean, especially now, I know that can be so hard. She's raised by my grandparents, and her dad's always working. And she had ovarian cancer, and I don't think that's usually something that gets really out of control, but it was during the 4th term when they found it. She had some pain in her back, so she went to the doctor eventually to get it checked out, and it was too far along for them to do anything. So she went through a couple sessions of chemo, I think, and lost all her hair. And so I know about that time is when everybody kind of started realizing the impacts of it. So of course we had a whole family reunion, and we have a lot of everybody kind of has pictures of her from that time because everybody knew it was gonna end soon. So I think it has a lot to do with our beliefs as Catholics that, we believe that she's in heaven right now, so she's in a better place, and she's not going through any pain, but still you obviously are going to suffer some kind of loss from that sort of experience.
Anything else?
I don't think so. Okay, so right now we're ready for lunch. So if everybody, your time, are we ready for lunch? We're not ready for lunch. So me and Megan are going to we're gonna talk about questions. But I know for our Native American, for the Native American village, like we said earlier, we didn't really know what was going to be there for us. So we took about an hour or more footage on each of our 2 cameras, and we probably didn't even use 25% of it. We basically, when we got back, we had to look at the footage we had, and I was actually the one that did the EDL on it. So we had to go. Well, EDL is editing decision list. And so we had to go through all this footage, and our idea changed a little bit from the beginning to the end because of what we found there and the differences of the shots that we were able to find. Speaking from my experience, I have to say there were definitely a lot of lessons that I've learned over this experience that will definitely influence the rest of my school life and the rest of my life later on in my whatever career I choose.
If you go up to somebody and say, honey, I love you, and then that person says,
I know.
hands on each other. Just can't smile. I know that. Some people have done a good job so far. Remember, if you smile, you gotta get out.
She's shaking her hand, but I just can't smile. Oh!